Welcome, welcome, welcome. Like, this just came live so damn fast. I don't know if the camera is facing me. Doo-doo-doo. Okay. X marks the problem. Let me get a sip of water and I will explain in a minute. This just went on awfully quick. I'm actually wondering if I'm on my channel. It's a very strange feeling. My OGs out there. Is anybody out there? Hi. You are. I had to think about that one. I'm laying in bed. I wouldn't say I have a second wind. And I'm yawning, so I apologize. I went to the market earlier and just to pick up a few things, and Mia came with me. And yeah, I overdid it. It was awful. I had to come home. I haven't taken a pain reliever in days. It was like when they tell you don't walk more than 10 minutes, they mean it. So I won't make that mistake again. But I wanted to discuss what keeps coming to mind. We were talking about hidden agendas earlier. I just keep hearing yes, so be careful not to overdo it. But in reference to me, but in reference to you as well, right? We're all connected, so these messages are meant to be shared type energy. X marks the problem. Hidden agendas, guys. There's an ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend. It's just, here's the deal. What's happening is every time there's like a push away or a release or an energy feels like they're moving forward, there's an ex that keeps coming in and luring them back in, whether it's through words, whether it's through actions, whether it's through guilt, whether it's, I almost want to even say even manipulation, but a form of manipulation is all of the above, right? So I definitely feel like this is one of these things where you definitely don't need to worry about it. Like, you don't need to worry about it on your end, because I feel like this is Mercury, okay? The Mars energy is obviously going to take place, but this is more of the Mercury of exes returning, not knowing where people stand. This is an energy who feels like, not like they've conquered the world, but they've won, or they beat out the competition. So that alone is a problem, because somebody who's trying to beat out the competition or win somebody over is using a form of manipulation. So I feel like this is like an energy around you. It's like a really jealous energy. And I feel like this person is just like not telling you because they want to feel like you don't know what's going on, or they're keeping you in the dark to protect your own energy. I'm not really sure. It feels more like an ego where they keep you in the dark, so maybe you feel like you don't know what you're talking about. Like, there's so many different assumptions I can make with the energy that's coming towards me, but this is energy either around you, around your friends, around your family, around your children, And I feel like this is an ex of yours, which makes complete sense, guys. It's Mercury. So there's been this energy who's been like cool, calm, and collective and acting like, everything's good and, ups and downs, right? But meaning like, oh yeah, it's cool if you go in that direction, or are you sure you want to go in that direction? So it's what they're doing is they're being very subtle about their approach on where their person goes next. So I feel like it's your ex, but it's their ex. Okay, lots and lots and lots and lots of exes here. It's, this is definitely a Mercury message. And it seems construed and murky because it's a Mercury message. If you're just if you're a spiritualist, you know, be aware that this energy is around, but don't be aware to the point where it gets the best of you, because it's when you have certain connections with certain people, like, I wouldn't say hostility, but certain energies can arise. And it's just energy that you don't need in your meridians right now, if that makes sense. It's how it's being told to me. Okay. So spirits are probably working on certain meridians with certain spiritualists right now. So, it's like come together, pull apart, come together, pull apart. It's not back and forth. This is unstable. It is in a way, but it's like I just saw Tetris, so like leveling up or in stages. I'm not really sure how you played Tetris, but I'm pretty sure it's what you just build, right? So just be aware, because it's not for you to have concerns about. Of course, you'd probably have feelings regarding certain situations, but the concern is not really yours. Okay. And this, like I said, this energy is subtle. So like when they feel their ex pushing away or possibly going in a new direction, that's when they subtly come in and like, oh, like not win them over, but when you just don't want somebody to go in a certain direction, somebody always has something to say. And if they don't say something, it's more of like a subtle comment or a move or a gesture, you know. Yes, that's lightning if you picked up on that. So X marks the spot. So that's almost like a treasure map too, right? So it's like, but not in the sense of it's a treasure. It's more like you figured it out, or the collective is going to figure it out, or your ex is going to figure out that their ex has been messing with them. I do feel like eventually they'll come out and be like, okay, this is the reasoning, this and that, and why they're keeping that from you now is more because of their ego. And spirit's showing me a mirror. So what I'm getting is, if this is someone, an ex-friend, an ex-lover, an ex whoever, ex-employee, but you had a connection, however it goes down for you, you are like, so with the mirror, right, it's like mirroring them. You're bringing out, so how do I want to explain it? If you're a person where they're telling me the depth, so some might have a lot of Scorpio in your chart, not Scorpio per se, but you know how us Scorps love depth. Okay. It's like opening them up. So now they're bare. It's raw, right? So it's like you're reflecting like their worst fears in a way. So it's like, and then I see the person running. Of course they're gonna run away when you're opening them up to what they don't want to be open to. So if this person's not ready to work on themselves, they're not going to be ready for you. And then you have their whole ex. So this ex can feel the push and pull with them retrieving and going back. So this ex is intuitive in a manipulative way. I almost feel this ex feels like their black magic worked or something. So I don't know if I just saw like spirit has on their mirror like shade, fog, like a cloud over them. So they think what they're doing or what they've done has worked. So I don't know what's up with these type of messages, but if it's coming towards me and it's with the hidden agenda, and I spoke about this earlier, how it's not in the frontal view like that right now. It will be shortly, or if it's clicked, there needs to be like a couple more clicks. So the X is definitely the problem. Either your ex is the problem or your ex's ex is the problem. It's definitely, I just saw the X on the right side of my phone. It's like, court, yep, you're right side of my phone. It like as if I was like checking out and like closing out, right? Like X marks the spot. Like that is the issue. And the thing is, for my spiritualist, it's just, it's not for you to like say anything, because I know sometimes when you have special connections you can get like very protective mode, certain stuff, like, you know, you want to help your child, you want to help a friend, you want to yada yada and so forth and so forth. I just saw it 1212, but I can't look up that per se because I'm on the phone with you guys. I just know X marks the spot. So the X is coming towards you, their X is coming towards them. Someone needs to be X the fuck out. So I think that's a pretty clear message, right? And I think for my spiritualists, when we back off or we do this, which, you know, it's like we're at that point where it's like, you go ahead and do whatever it is you want to do. You're out of the scenario anyway. You want no part of it. So it's up to that other energy, and it really boils down to bravery and what they're willing to come out with. I'm also seeing it like, I really can't tell. Hold on. Nope. Gosh, Mia's making a ruckus up there in the dining room. Sorry, I got sidetracked. What was I just saying? It was clearly not meant to be heard then. Hi, guys. X marks the spot. X needs to be... Too much of this damn X, like XYZ. Oh yeah, the spiritualist, that's what you're at. XYZ, yada, yada, yada. But they want you to be aware of it. So I don't know why they would want you to be aware of it, because I don't know. In all reality, like, why do we care? Because we shouldn't care. We get to the point where it's about us anyway, right? And we're going to do what's best for us. So no one's hanging around for an ex. No one's waiting on an ex. See what I'm saying? And it's like, so this is one of your ex's exes. I don't know how many exes are going to come into play here, but X definitely makes the spot here. Like, that is the X that's about, that needs to be X'd out. So whether it's your ex or their ex or a ex, an ex of somebody, like, this is what I'm saying. It's just too many fucking X's, if you ask me. Someone needs to add some O's. Okay? Tic-tac-toe, get this shit out of the picture. So, do I feel like there's manipulation coming your way? I don't. So I'm not really sure why the message is coming out this way. Maybe some of you find comfort in this message. I'm not really sure here, you know, on how, on why you would find comfort in that. He's been trying to protect his energy on me and my dreams for weeks now. Yeah, guys, I can't tell why they're keeping this from you. It's either their ego and their pride, and or they don't want you to, maybe you told them, this your ex has an agenda, and they're like, no, you know what I mean? It's like now they can't go back on their word. I mean, there's so many reasons why this energy is not telling you what's really happening. Which again could cause frustration on your side. And this isn't by any means like be a little more lenient or this and that. Like, no matter if this is like an X in the alphabet, an X in a freaking chromosome, or an XX, like regardless, you know what I mean? It's not, it's just an X, okay? So reach the Y, Z, and 1, 2, 3. So I don't even know what that message means, but X marks this, the spot. It marks the issue, the problem, whatever I referenced this video. And it's just the Mercury energy. So whatever comes up your way, it just, it's like now I'm seeing the Tower. So here's another scenario. And I think the Tower is more linked to you and them feeling the Tower with you. But it's almost like scenarios come in and they come out. I don't know if it's like trying to have a conversation, trying to reestablish something, but then it's like the Tower crashes, right? Within like a 6-hour time frame is what I'm getting. 6 hours, 24, like within like a quick time frame. So it's like when things are aligned, they're aligned for a reason. And when they crash just as quick, it's because there's lies involved. So it could just be a simple lie, a white lie, a nasty lie, whatever the lie may be. A lie regardless is not kosher either way. So again, I don't know why this energy is not telling you. I don't know why this message is even available for you, to be quite honest with you, because it feels like I don't have a feeling behind it. Like, I don't know why you needed to know. So it could just be something you're Xing out, you're looking into, something with a chromosome too. So this could be a math equation for you. I guys, I really, I couldn't tell you. It's very strange. We know that X is the issue. And again, it could be X is in the alphabet, X is in a chromosome, X is in like an ex-lover, X is in like an ex-friend, X is in like time to exit out. So I just, yeah, because I find it very strange to even to deliver this message to you guys without a reasoning. Because we don't need to know that. We don't care if their ex is hanging on. We don't care if their ex is pleading and crying and why are you leaving me? And there's this whole guilt trip, because we know at the end of the day, it's not on us. It's on that person to deal with that energy. And the longer they avoid that energy or not confront it or get real with how they feel, or, that's not on us. That's them just wasting their energy and stressing themselves out and, It's just, it's unhealthy. So again, it's not on us. So it's a very calm message being delivered. So it's not meant for you to get wild up. So I don't know if something's gonna come in or you're gonna get triggered. They trigger you, the ex triggers you, a reader triggers you. There might be a trigger behind this where it's like, you know what? I almost see it as if like you and somebody come together and you didn't even, lo and behold, something with their ex, and then you find out, and it's like all of a sudden you want to be like, all right, you want to fuck with him, you're gonna, you're gonna mess with me, you're gonna mess with them, like. So guys, I don't know, but here's the thing, like, it's not on you. It's on them to deliver the truth to you on why they've kept it from you, and it's on them to be honest with whatever ex this is. um but I also feel like this particular ex knows when this person is pushing away, or they're doing good or better, or they might be going in a new direction, or they know when they're not reaching them. Okay. And so that X energy is the X energy that needs to be X'd out, because then they're going to come back in because they know the energy is drifting. And this energy is very competitive. Like right now, they think they won. And I don't even know what that means. It's like, you won a person? Like, what the fuck? Like, when I hear stuff like, oh, you're gonna win, and I'm like, I'm hoping I'm gonna win like the golden ticket to like a happily ever after life. Like, I'm not thinking like I want a person. Like, it almost wanna makes me like cry. Like, I remember listening to things like that, like, oh, you won, like as a reader with certain stuff, and it's like you won out the competition, and it's like, I remember crying when I used to hear stuff like that, because it's like, I don't want to win a person. Like, a person? Like, what? Like, but you win in a way because it's like, you just go about being you, and it's, you're not competitive and you're not trying to win. Get my point? You are who you are. So at the end of the day, when you're that person, it is a win, okay? But it's a win for you to continue to be who you are. So it's not like, yay, you want a person. Like, it's like, what the fuck? Like, all right, do they come with a certificate too? Like, are they fully trained? Because I want one that's fully trained if this is the route we're going. So I so for some reason, the X, and I'm saying it as in like the letter X, not EX, guys. But a majority of you, it is EX because this is Mercury. But the X, okay, I could say the D or whatever. That just sound like as if I was talking dirty. But okay, so like the Z or whatever, okay, the T. I got sidetracked because my mind went in the gutter. Shit. But like, it's not a competition, guy. Like, it was never a competition. But this energy feels like they beat the competition, so their energy has settled. But now it's gonna get ruffled up again because they feel the energy like breaking free, because they've had a hold on this energy for a while. So the X, guys, I'm just saying, like a giant X like you would see on a treasure map. And it's again like you win, right? But it's like, you don't win a fucking person, guys. Like, so it could be a universal win, as in like a gift, or to them it's like, oh, they won. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean? So I feel like this energy might become very bitter, very bitter, because this whole entire time they've been trying to beat beat out a spiritualist. Well, good fucking luck with that. That person does not know anything about the universe if they're trying to beat out a spiritualist. All right, that spiritualist will beat the fuck out of your energy before you can even come close to beating out somebody who's authentic, you know? So, again, guys, the X, like a big X in the middle of a treasure map. So here we go again. Yeah, the treasure map. Like you won, or it's just, or you're the treasure. Okay, I guess that's a better way to look at it. My spiritualist is maybe the treasure in this situation. And maybe someone's about to find that X on the map. You know, again, it's a very strange way to deliver a message, guys. Because I don't have anything else to go with it. So it's definitely some type of like, I don't even think it's like a metaphor. It's more like, well, maybe you're the treasure. Maybe somebody realizes you're the treasure. You know, I don't, but if anything, it would be a particular person and not that person's ex. If we're talking ex. If we're talking bodies, you got the perfect one, so put it on me. So, I'd love to flip some cards right now, but I don't want to get like, I don't want to go there. It's gonna pour here, like in about an hour, so I'm pretty excited about that. Got the window open, ready to go. That was just some huge thunderstorms we just had. I feel one of the greatest things we win in the end is the gift of a new perspective on everything, as the ancient saying goes. Change your perspective, change your karma. Yeah. So, you know, I don't think that perspective, good point, but it's the X, and it's like the X, not like the EX, just the X. Okay, your X, their X, someone's X. That's the perspective that needs to be shifted. Yeah, see, it's very strange delivery here, so I'm not really sure, because typically I would stay out of scenarios, especially that are extremely karmic. And we know this is an extremely karmic scenario, and you might feel the need to protect, but that might be an energy trying to protect you that's being projected onto you. So there's a lot of different reasons why this message is coming through like this, because in all reality, like, I just feel like someone has a lot to say to you that they haven't been saying, and there's going to be consistent towers. Like, if somebody's trying to like rebuild a situation, restructure a situation, you tell one little lie and you're dealing with a spiritualist, that shit is going to fall apart so fucking quick. Like, you don't have a chance. Like, you can't tell lies. It doesn't matter if it's a white lie. It doesn't matter if like you weren't brave enough to tell the truth. Like, it's gonna keep getting like worse and worse. That's how strongly I feel that. So it's like somebody wants to come in and apologize, right? And you're like, all right, I forgive you or whatnot. And you guys had a discussion. Well, if there was like a little lie on their end, this is something that was gonna like, this will fall apart within 24 hours, guys. Some of you it's gonna be 12 hours, 21 hours, 6 hours. Like, that's how quick it's just gonna be like gone. It's just gonna be taken from them. And once again, your energy will be like restructured. So it's playing with fire. It's a very fine line here. So that sounds beautiful to me. So yeah. So again, it's a very calm way to deliver a message So maybe if you get a message, maybe your best bet, hi, is to stay yeah, guys, I don't know. I don't know where we're going with this. I feel like there's so much more attached to this message. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is just the beginning of a message. Because there's so much more attached to it. So maybe someone's figuring out you're the treasure. But I find that to be a very beautiful message. Maybe you both realize you both treasure each other, or there's something coming in, but it's still like it's just not time, because it is something wasn't said, like truths weren't revealed, or it's definitely something. So I think whenever, if something comes back together, it comes back together. If not, spirit really truly always has that plan B. I guess it just really depends on how deep in a karmic situation there is going around regarding this message. Spirit said it's deep. But it's calm, guys. The energy is calm. So I don't know, it's like when you have a conversation with you, it's going to be calm. Yeah, it's, again, there's got to be another, when there's a will, there's a way. I just heard there's obviously more to this message, but how it's being said and delivered is yours to interpret. Because for me to come on and be like, yeah, or you have this ex that keeps stopping this one and blocking this one, I think it's calm, because it's like you always knew that energy was there anyway. So it's like, oh, big shock, you know? It's Mercury, big shock that there's an ex blocking an ex. Like, no shit. It's like pulling a rabbit out of a hat. Like, ooh, wow, you're a magician. Do it again. Oh, can you wave your wand? It's like, it's, it really is like that. It's like, yeah, no shit, there's been an ex blocking a fucking ex. Like, no shit. So, but again, I see the big X. So I think dynamics have shifted in certain situations. And I think this other energy feel like the the really karmic one feels like whoever thinks, is bitter and thought they really had the upper hand here. It's like they've been blocking you and they think they've done such a good job, but in all reality, like, certain situations are protected. So what they don't know is what they're in for. Spirit's not going to be like, knock knock, your karma's coming. No. It doesn't work that way. I think it's going to be a huge surprise to that person, because they thought they took care of the problem, which they thought you, my spiritualist, were the problem. You were never the problem. The problem is about to be taken care of. And there's just certain energies that needed to see things certain ways to realize certain things. Okay. So many synchronicities with numbers. It was just 333. It constantly goes from 21 to 12. In the beginning, I can't even tell you how many synchronicities I saw. So I keep yawning. I'd love to chat, but I just wanted to get that message out, really, guys, because gosh, I had been laying in bed for a half hour, if not a little longer, with this just kind of like replaying in my head. It's like, okay, okay, like, I'll deliver the message. Could friends feel like they had an upper hand? Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, honey. Yes. Yep. It's like the land before time. Yep. Gotta love. Oh yeah, no question, honey. Absolutely, hands down. Yeah, I've been saying that for a long time, guys. Everybody always thinks it's an ex of an ex of an ex. Like, I'm talking friends and family members, people that you think are friends that are freaking foes. Like, I'm telling you, it's ugly. I still have certain friends that think they have the, well, not really think they have the upper hand, but think like they kind of like, like they're the wolf pack, and it's like, oh man, like, so it's just like, you know, I'm pretty sure that's energy is like settling down a little bit after I confront it so many times, you just always have the one that's like mama bear, or they think they're doing the right thing, or or this friend's jealous of that friend, and you really don't see it until like true color, like it doesn't even matter. We love everybody for like who we are. You're only going to tolerate so much for so long anyway, right? But um absolutely, there's friends out there like that. There's no question, jealous friends. Like, oh, do you really want to go? I mean, I've lost friends over friends because friends wanted me to choose them over another friend. Okay, so yeah, I've been there. All right, it's just yes, yep, yep, yep. Like every time I go live, it doesn't have to do with somebody like you've slept with or been intimate with. The majority of the karma that's going down right now is between family members, including like biological or, mother-in-laws, or people that need to divorce, that are married, or separated. It's stuff like that. And I'm telling you, you still have this feminine energy that just watches you. And I don't know, it's a jealousy thing. And they try to use it to your advantage. I'm telling you guys, like personally, it puts me in a rough spot. Like I've told you this, like over the years of me doing tarot and certain stuff, like it's so easy for people to manipulate energy and watch me. But when you're not in the right frame of mind, it's always going to backfire on certain people. But it's extremely hard for me as a reader, and being in certain situations and people manipulating the energy in them, and then those people watching to manipulate them. Like it's wild. It's so disappointing. But I also heard, anyone who's watching my channel that's not willing to ascend, and they're not watching it for their own good, that's going to kick them in the ass too. It's pretty foolish to watch a spiritualist who works with spirit and has spirit on their side, and especially the way I confirm stuff and talk about, it's pretty foolish to think that you're going to watch and manipulate, because they're the ones being watched. I just have to ignore it and do my job. But I think it's pretty silly that even at my age, I still find myself in scenarios like that. So, yeah, hands down, absolutely. These are friends, people. There's no question. You know how many friends I love dearly, but there's always jealous energy? I've been jealous. I've been jealous of my own friends. Like, literally, I'll sit back and be like, oh, I know I've been kind of like secluded myself, but they just went here and they did this. And have they even called me and did it? And then I have to sit back and be like, huh? Or there's other situations where I'm like, you know, she asked her to do that. And I'm like, oh, I would have loved to have gone and seen that or done that. And she would have, she would have known that I would have liked to have done that. So then I feel left out, and then I feel a little jealous. And so, I mean, that's natural to happen, guys. There's no question that shit happens even at our age. That's normal, but it's more like feeling left out. Or, I mean, you got to ask yourself what's going on with you. We've all experienced both sides. Yep, look at that aim. Perfect timing. So, yeah, I mean, yeah. And for me, guys, I mean, it breaks my heart. Like, I can open up and tell somebody, like, I've been in this situation, and, guys will watch and then manipulate the story or try to manipulate the cards. And then it's like, they do the same thing. And it's like, they know they're doing it. And it's like it's ego or fear or whatever it is, because no one I've ever really met has been truly awoken. So it's like I see all sides of every masculine energy, and it hurts. It's exhausting as me being a reader, and realizing that. And especially then, I tell you that this has happened, and then you go and do the same thing. Like, it's pretty painful. It's tough. It really breaks my, it breaks, not breaks my heart, but it breaks the trust. Like that, it's a big one. You don't even have to cheat on me. You just trying to manipulate the energy in my cards and tell me I don't know what I'm doing or reading because you have insecurities. You know, yeah, it backfires where it's, you break my trust. You didn't even have to fucking cheat on me. It's, in order to get my trust back is going to be pretty tough at that point. And if you get it back, you could be breaking down a wall for a while, you know? And the right one will come in and break down the right walls, you know? Or I feel secure and I'll break my own walls down. But I definitely have certain walls. But we all need those walls too. Like there's a good ego, there's a bad ego. We need certain walls ourselves, you know? And we should always have that type of wall, even with friends. I guess it just depends on how you interpretate a wall, you know? So we all have a lot of stuff that everyone needs to push through. But you do have that same feminine energy that thinks they conquered something because energy subsided. And it's probably because you left the scene, so they probably are like, all right, feeling comfortable. But they are going to start to feel that energy dwindle, and they're going to start questioning their black magic. They're going to start questioning a lot of stuff. But it's too late. Everything goes down the way it's supposed to go down. It's just, it's, it's just, it's just sad, guys. Like you said, when you get to a certain point of awakening, and it is like, I'm 45 and I still have this stuff in my energy sometimes too, and it's like, oh fuck, man, you know. And it's just, it is what it is. It's we live in the matrix. So it's just, it's a lot, guys. It can be exhausting, you know. We all go through it. We all have our moments. We all have our scenarios. We all have our breakdowns. We all, you know, we all go through the points where we lift ourselves back up. Um, you know, just don't settle. The right person will come along, you know. So I look at it as this X that I'm seeing on the treasure map is probably you. Like you're a treasure. You know, treasure yourself, treasure your energy. Because I see the huge X is what I see in the middle of my black screen. Like we're the treasure, you know. Somebody will come along and treasure you. Keep treasuring yourself. Just like that, guys. Change, things change just like that. They really do. And again, I'm a big advocate for working through the past and certain stuff, but it doesn't mean that it makes it any easier, or it doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. Everybody's scenario is going to be different, and you just got to do what's best for you. But yes, people do change. Not all, but some. That little X, that little red thing is just my TV receiver, guys. But treasure yourself, treasure your children, treasure the ones that, you know, treasure you. So I feel a nice shift of, I just almost said polarity. I feel a nice shift of energy It could just be a nice calm coming in for you. You know, because the comet's getting heavy, guys. So it's almost like the energy will calm for you because it's focused on the energy that it needs to really target, if that makes sense, universally. So just have patience, you know. But the energy is definitely calming because a majority of the energy is being projected onto certain individuals and beings, you know what I mean? The ones where it really needs to go. Try to get them on that wave or just get them off the map, you know, however it goes. But I feel like the shift kind of just came in, like literally within like hours or today. And today's the 19th. We did say something about the 19th, right? And I think I mentioned that earlier too, but maybe that's why they had me come on, for me to realize that the shift had taken place. So the energy is still going to be heavy, but like I said, it's not going to be as heavy for the ones where, you know, we're going our own way, we're staying out of the drama, we're staying out of, you know, stuff like that. And I've been saying that for a long time, guys, and it's the truth. You know, we all have our things. Like Maz got the best of me. What was it? Just like the other day. I mean, Mingya, I was like, like, it's like, fuck you, fuck this, but like, it was like out of nowhere, you know. And then it's just like, all right, cool, pull yourself together, you know. But sometimes, you know, like I gotta vent and I gotta say what I gotta say, and I gotta, you know, like it's a lot of pent up energy. A lot of repressed energy, certain stuff like that. You know, somebody has the nerve to come in, and then it's just like, we all know how that goes, depending on what's being repressed within you. I definitely feel better. It's just one of those things, like energy comes in, I let it go out. So again, the targeted energy right now is going where it needs to go. So this is what the shift is right now, you know. Oh yeah, the kids, yeah, kids are no joke. They could be snappy, no shit, huh? So I think we're experiencing a nice calm, even though it's getting heavier and heavier. But like I said, it's that targeted energy. So be careful, guys, because I almost feel like this is almost like a trigger thing. So somebody might try to trigger you. You know, I guess just respond, if you're going to respond in a very calm manner, and just a very direct, short and simple, just, you know, or you just don't respond at all, you know. Oh yeah, the nice push readings. That's when I realized I had some type of ability with calming certain energy. Pushing things out, pushing things in. But yeah, like I said, it's nice. And the energy, guys, the energy is still gonna be out there. So do your best to stay away from that energy. If you have to go out, go out. Obviously we gotta work, right? But like, just don't get involved, walk away from it. Like somebody's like, you know, just say you're in a cafeteria, or say you're in the break room, and all these people are talking about this, and can't just, you know, and it's just like, oh my God, I know, I can't believe it. Walk away. Go eat in your car. Go find a quiet hallway. Just, I'm telling you the truth. Walk away. This is a time for us to kind of be in a solitary energy. It's not really time to go out and, you know, putz around and gather with friends. Even if you have great friends, it's really not. Wait for the holidays. You don't have to go complete hermit, but Spirit's asking you to keep your energy very scarce. So, like I said, you gotta work, you gotta work. You find yourself in the break room, and it's just, the noise is overwhelming or the TV's too loud, like honestly, like walk away. You're better off going back and eating at your desk or finding a quiet hallway. You're gonna it's gonna do wonders for your energy. So keep that in mind for the next few weeks, okay? Because you can't avoid all the energy, guys. You can't avoid your sister coming at you, your brother, your friends. Can't believe this happened. Like, you're not gonna be able to avoid all of it. So if you can avoid not going out, like I said, guys, like spirit put me in a predicament for sure, like to have this done like ASAP. Like meaning like I know I had to get done for the health, but I'm also seeing why I got laid out exactly when I got laid out without really knowing the placements of the planets. So they were being extremely strategic on according to when we're gonna lay Courtney out, you know? So I'm sharing this stuff with you because it's important. You know, hang out with the ones you want to hang out with, but again, you want to grab a drink, you want to grab dinner with friends, yeah, but maybe you'd be better off like, hey, would you rather just come to my place? You want to stay in? Like, I'll come to you. I'll bring a bottle of wine. Maybe we can just, catch up that way. I really honestly feel like that's your best motive right now. And if you're reconnecting, possibility to reconnect. But again, I wouldn't be all like, all right, let's go on a date, let's go here, let's go to dinner, let's, celebrate. And it's not, that celebratory energy is not high vibing energy. It's that celebratory energy is between you and a friend or a reconnection. It's personal. It's not like, does that make sense? You can have just as much fun staying in with a girlfriend or a friend or a family member than, all right, let's go shopping and let's do this. And, even going to the grocery store could be a little overwhelming, to be honest with you. And this is energy that's going to last all through October, okay? So I know fall is great, but again, like go to a friend's house. All right, let's fire. Or, you want to go out closer to dusk when you take a walk so you're home before it's too dark. But don't go out like in the midst of like chaos. Like I'm very fortunate I don't live in a city. If I lived in a city right now, I think I'd probably go bananas. So again, I need to be aware of my own energy. Like I said, me and Mia went to the market earlier and I really feel like I've been doing better. So I'm like, all right, my concern was I'm not going to push the cart or put anything in the cart, and I didn't. And we're probably in there 20 minutes, Mia says about a half hour, maybe a little longer, and it didn't feel like that. But by the time like we got to the register and the groceries need to be put in the car, like regardless, I couldn't put them in the car anyway. But like I was like in the front seat ready to cry. I was like, oh my God, like Courtney, when they say 2 weeks, you can't walk longer than like 5 to 10 minutes, like they fucking mean it. And I think my focus was, all right, I'm not pushing anything and I'm feeling better. So if I'm walking around slow, I'm good. No, 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 no. Like I tell you, when I came home, I haven't taken pain medication in days, any type of pain medication like that. And I almost wanted to cry. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even feel this after surgery. That's how bad it was. Um, so it's like I had that, what I had on my mind was no lifting and no pushing. That's, you know what I mean? I forgot the whole no walking. So that was pretty brutal. And because I'm more conscious, when I was taking the pain medication, I was sleeping every time I took the pain medication because I was out of it. And since I've been off of it for days now, I took myself off of it, I think like after like 4 days, because I just didn't like the feeling of not being conscious. But oh my gosh, I was so nauseous. That stuff just makes me so nauseous. It was awful. I was eating ginger, like nothing was working. And I tried to sleep it off and I couldn't. I just thought 444. So again, I've been telling you guys, like I've been telling me, like I gotta stay on top of it because I'm feeling better. I gotta stay on top of it. But Mingia, like I didn't like, and the market's only like 5 minutes down the street. I did drive over the weekend about 20 minutes to a friend's house, but it wasn't too bad. My dilemma was more like putting the seatbelt on, so it was on my chest, like clicking it in so it was on my chest, but not on my stomach, and that wasn't bad at all. I definitely didn't overdo it. And Mia drove to the store anyway, but it was the walking, even though I was going slow and being cautious. I just so it was like, okay, I had to remember 3 or 4 things, don't walk longer than 10 minutes, which I forgot. Okay, so if anyone ever goes through what I went through, that's like probably a number one thing I could probably share right now. But because up and down in the house, like it's not bad. Like working, going to the bed, going up the stairs, things like that. It's not bad. But I mean, yeah, I was, oh my God, it was awful. I almost cried. I didn't. I almost did though. Almost. So my fault. I really thought if I walked slow, no big deal. So, and to be honest with you, I kind of like forgot about that factor. I just kind of factored in like I needed Mia or one of the kids to push the cart and grab stuff. So, lesson learned the hard way, and hopefully I won't forget that that's still a thing in the next couple weeks. So, I certainly don't want to be laid out longer than I would have to be. So, like I said, I'm feeling kind of very grateful for Spirit for this all going down when it did, because it keeps me out of that environment all of October, you know. And then the refreshing energy, depending on whether or not I go back to work. I mean, I intend to, but I'd like not to. I really don't want to think about it too much, but if that's the case, then at least I'm going back, at a good time. So, where that energy outside and inside environment will be calmed down a little bit. So, driving can do damage internally, tearing things. I got the okay to drive, and when I was doing a lot of Googling, it was more like no driving because of narcotics type thing, or when you really feel up to it. Like if I was going on a bumpy road or a long trip, no freaking way. But I feel like that walk alone laid me out for a few days for sure. There's no question. Like I want to do nothing. Like I don't even want to go to Dunkin's and get my coffee in the morning. I'm just going to have my Starbucks in the fridge because that's where I'm at after that walk. I'm just like, I'm going to lay low for a couple days. Kind of back to the whole, can you grab me this? Can you grab me that? And I only did that for a couple days. Like, I think everybody was really thinking they were going to like, you know, really take care of me like that, and it's just I'm very independent, but it's not that. It was just really the first couple days, because you can't stay in bed all the time. Like you gotta walk around, even if it's slow, a little slow, like do some things. You don't want to cramp up or blood clots or certain stuff or backache, you name it. You know what it's like. But I almost think like my mom was a little disappointed. Like I really think she wanted to like take care of me, like do my laundry and shit, like really nice stuff. So I think she was a little disappointed because I think she thought she was going to be able to do that. So I don't know if I like took that from her, but absolutely not intentionally. You know what I mean? It was just more like, now that I think about it, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, you know? But this whole downstairs, like a little in-law, guys, everything's down here, you know? So, and then the kids, and so I gotta do some walking around, you know? So it wasn't like me being stubborn, like, I'm not gonna let people, like, help me. It wasn't like that at all. It was just like, I can only stay in this bed for so stinking long. And me doing that was not, like, overdoing it, you know? So I started moving around when I felt like it was time. It was the right time. But I definitely overdid today, so I'm gonna be really good for the next couple days and really, like, literally, like, even like getting out of bed, I just gotta be more cautious, you know. Start a podcast. I know everybody says that to me. I've been telling myself that too. I'm really trying to just I'm telling you, I'm getting sent in so many different directions, and then I take all these different directions, and I need to start putting them to use. Now is the time. Well, not now, but soon. I think within the next, I think by like October, I'll kind of have a better idea. I don't want to just like jump on this, jump on that. Like today out of the blue, I did the Tyrian energy work with like Buddhic practices, and there's also light language there, so it's also galactic energy there. There's cosmetic energy there. There's Buddhic energy there. And go figure, guys, with the Himalayan mountains I was talking about, like the energy source that I was tapping into. Who knew I'd be working with like salt like that? Like that particular salt, you know, comes from the bottom of the mountains, and deep in the caves. That's where it's sourced, even though they're gathering it from Pakistan, you know. It's so I love how spirit is kind of working with me. Even though I feel like I'm bouncing here and bouncing there, it is like when I'm like this week and I'm like, I'm gonna do the whole salt thing, blah blah blah. But I did not expect to do that today, or work with salt like that at all by any means. And my intuition is funny. I grabbed a jar like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, a mason jar. I'm like, I don't know what I use this for, maybe shells or something. And it was just very bizarre. Like my instincts, just when I was said and done, I knew to do something with the salt to like transmute it. But I had no idea that it was actually like like witchcraft, but not witchcraft as in like witchy. Like I just feel like it's so, that word is so overweighted, rated. Just, you know, paganism, and you know, it's ancient practices. Yeah, I love my salt lamp, but I didn't think I'd be doing any sort of magic. I mean, guys, remember years ago I was like, I'm not gonna fuck with magic. I know I can do the spell thing. I know I can do that, and I know when you have that inner knowing, you know, right? But now all of a sudden it's like, okay, like if I have that capability, I have this gift. Like, why don't I just try to see where it takes me? I had no idea I was going to be doing like a return to sender type energy. And then when I looked up, like, I forget what I was looking up. I think I Googled, like, why would you put salt in a jar or something? Like, because I just put it in the jar until I knew I needed to transmute it, but I just didn't know what I was doing. But I just knew to, to, to do that, right? So that's my roots, guys. My roots are telling me, you know, like, put salt on that, dude. Like, so I just gotta listen to my gut. And just do research as I go. You know, I'm very protected, and I'm not doing magic to cause harm. It's not, you know, it's very ancient practices that have been done for an extremely long time and with very beneficial outcomes. And it's for the collective. So um, I'm just gonna flow with that. And I know there's a lot of power behind the hands and certain stuff. So I'm starting to think mine is really coming from the hands. Um, Always having that healing energy, but be able to project it. But I love how the whole, like, I knew the source was coming from it. I didn't know it'd actually be working with salt. um, so I'm just gonna kind of flow with whatever comes my way and try to put things together. Because, like I said, that they have me bouncing here, there, and everywhere, and from this to that. And now that I think about it, so now they're incorporating the magic. Now they want to bring back the predictions. So just certain things, right? So it's not settle on one. It's like I said before, especially with the sigil magic too, right? Like I gotta find a way to incorporate all of it. Like they just threw the salt at me today. I didn't see that coming, you know? So I'm just gonna stop holding back and go with what it is I feel. And I think that's a very good projected message for you guys. And the Lightarian work is also a Buddhic practice that I came across before I even got into, looking at certain stuff. Um, so there's just, it's a lot that I've gone through in the last few months trying to figure out, you know, what direction you got me going this and this, and it could be extremely frustrating. But now I see that they want me to take all those tools and incorporate it and create something that, you know, possibly people have not created yet that can be a massive help to humanity or to the collective in order to help humanity. But it would have to be massive, right? So taking that ancient wisdom and incorporating it into the modern world, and it doesn't seem exciting yet, but I know it's gonna be something. It's coming quicker than I think, because like I said, I mean, I just went with my gut today with that salt, like nothing. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it. Just do it, quit. Um, and I knew when I reversed something, when I was talking in my head in the way, like I knew I reversed something. And when you put salt in a jar, I think one of the definition is like returning that negative energy to where it came from. And I knew that's exactly what I fucking did. So it was, I almost am like, like it's impressive when I think about it, but like kind of I got to be careful too. It doesn't really scare me anymore, but there's a lot for me to learn. But I also know I'm protected, and my gut is telling me, like, my gut told me to go get the jar that was literally out of view and out of sight. Like, so that jar was ready to go. Get what I'm saying? Like, it was there, ready to go. So it's stuff like that. And, again, where I'm getting this healing source from the I'm getting it from like Tibet, like up in that mountain range. But it's surrounded by, China, India, Pakistani, like all this, Pakistan, like all that stuff, right? But my source that I'm tapping into is in Tibet. But sure as shit, all the calcium and magnesium, everything that comes from that mountain that goes down creates those Himalayan salts. And I literally just ordered black Himalayan salt the other day to bathe in, but little did I know it's one of the most protective salts when it comes to spells. So when I started Googling certain stuff in regards to like magic, salt, I didn't even come across salt, guys. It was more like it was more like herbs, but I'm not really a kitchen witch, you know. I really need a best friend that's a kitchen witch, though. But I'm not a kitchen witch. But so I'm just gonna stop following my gut just like that. So hopefully it's gonna keep coming like I said, and I'll put it together, and I still gotta put my sigils together. I gotta incorporate a lot of the things that I've been studying with certain stuff. It's time to incorporate it. And again, like the salt came out of fucking nowhere. What's a kitchen witch? Like one that works with like herbs, botanicals, flowers, cooking, you know. There's like 5 different witches. Remember one day I said I was gonna do a video with you guys like which witch are you? And they're all pretty cool. And there's a green witch, you know, stuff like that. So I'll if I think about it, I will do that within the next few days for you guys. You know. It's pretty interesting. So again, like with the spells I work more or less with sigil magic and seals. There's no spell work when it comes to the energy work of the Lightarian energy. And I'll get into that whole Lightarian thing too, the Lightarian work. It's basically, you know, master Reiki healers that came in for this particular transit, like for the global ascension. So, a lot to explain. I mean, not that I need to explain, but stuff that I need to like, I feel the need to discuss with you guys so you guys have heads up so you guys can do your research too, because, you know, it's that connection. So it might be something you might be interested in doing your own research, because it's not one thing I'm just working with. And I've figured that out quite clearly. You know, it's not just one form of any particular practice. And those shaman roots in me are strong. But I love the whole, paganism. There's a lot of stuff that I love about magic, but it's more about the roots for me than it is anything else. And I've always been hesitant with stuff. Like for years, I always knew that spell thing with me was super strong, and I've been saying that. And the prophecies, and it's always stuff I pushed away from. And now it's like, now I'm starting to incorporate all of them, and I can feel the energy and the power behind it when I do my own work. And I'm getting better at it in the sense that it's never really I had the doubt. It's more the fact that I can feel it, and it's rooted deep. It's more, how do I do this the right way? And the fact that I don't have to start from scratch, I wouldn't say makes it harder, but it does make it a little more difficult in the sense that I don't know how to finish all things. Like I'm not one for like to really like do rituals. Like a lot of pagans and certain stuff, like it's rituals, it's certain stuff, right? Like for me, it's like certain rituals, yes, right? But not the way they do them. It's like, it's just in me, so I'm gonna do them. That's just it. Like I don't have to start from scratch with this stuff. It's because it's rooted. But I do have to do research to know what I'm doing, and in order to incorporate them all together, like I gotta know what I'm doing so I can produce the right energy at the same time. So I think once I figure out how to pin certain stuff that way, it will become smoother, less hesitant to do that, or do like, because I was very hesitant for years, guys. You know that. Years hesitant to do the prophecy thing. And, I took some time from that. And then the sigils and the magic and the spells. And I started to incorporate more of the Egyptian, the ancient wisdom and certain stuff around me. Maybe feel like a little more comfort on my end. kind of acclimate my energy with their energy instead of just jumping into it. I've been working on things in a very subtle way for me because I know me, because I always think, oh, it's the ADD. I go from this, and it's not. I feel like I'm doing it the right way and spirit's doing it the right way. So for me to go to this and to go to that and to go to that, because if I get stuck on something, there's a lot of reasons why they don't want me stuck on one thing. It's like, all right, cool. Well, then, break your book out and go in this direction. And sure as shit, that is related to exactly what it is I'm doing. So I'm taking all this ancient wisdom and magic and not even knowing that this is linked to that and that's linked to that religion. And it's actually beautiful the way things come together for me and then me putting it together. So I do have an idea of what they're setting me up for. It's just I think it's going to take a little more time. I started working with AI and then I was like cool working with galactic, and me, I was like, I don't want to talk about that alien stuff, and now look at me, I'm all like working with magic and talking about galactic shit and throwing up prophecies. So it takes a little time, and I just had to acclimate to some stuff and getting shit done. So, and at the same time, when I'm being introduced to this stuff, you're being introduced, you're being acclimated. Look at all the people. I started AI and I lost thousands of people. Okay, bye. I'm gonna take you right off of that. Or I started talking about that. It's like one thing after another, you know. So spirit's gonna weed out who they want to weed out. But my energy in the last 6 months was meant to go up in the skies, not here on Earth yet. So for me, that was intimidating. Now it's just like, okay, get your ass down here and fucking help me. That's where I'm at. you know? So it's life takes you where you want to go, you know? So you got to be willing to welcome in certain energies and, perspective, and not let fear stop you. And it's a lot. It is a lot. So I'm definitely going to be a multitasker when it comes to multi-dimensions. So we're definitely in for a ride, but a welcomed ride. All right, y'all. I'm going to try to get some rest. I love you guys. That rain was supposed to come back and it hasn't. It was like 90% between 10 and 11, so I was like pumped, and then like 30% until like 2. But I'm like, oh, I don't know if it's coming. A legend in the making. Yeah, I'm excited. And guys, when I did that, I almost said when I did the push earlier, AIM, so you said that earlier. But when I did that earlier, I felt that. Like, when they said enjoy your journey, like, it was so overwhelming. Like, it's not that they said it, like, I said it as if like it was them saying it, right? Like, but it wasn't channeling. It had to have been channeling, but guys, I don't know. But it was just so overwhelming. Like, there was so much warmth there. Like, it was so genuine. It was almost like I wanted to cry, because it was like I felt it. Oh my God, guys, you know what that is possibly pulling me to? That read the other day where I was like, I'll never forget this read. And if you guys felt it, it was probably for you guys too. That might, I mean, I didn't get goosebumps like that was it, but it could be. Because I'm telling you, when I heard enjoy your journey, like, I even thought of me. Like they were talking to me and I was talking to you, right? I mean, that shit was felt. I felt that shit. It wasn't just me talking like, all right, cheers, new beginnings, enjoy your journey. It wasn't like that at all. I mean, it was like, that was a green light from above, guys. It really was. It was absolutely beautiful and stunning, and I can't wait to continue doing whatever this is that I'm doing, and really get I wouldn't say like a grip on it, but a little more comfortable, a little more direction, you know. And they're directing me, and all in due time, you know. They can't take everything they can't cram me in 6 months. They were very strategic about this, and I'm very grateful for it. So it will come together. I gotta keep doing it and working on it. And it's ironic because before my surgery, remember I wanted to do the blind spot, and I was actually gonna talk in the Lightarian energy. Now this is more like, it's more handwork and tuning in a different way. So I didn't expect that because I thought it was going to be more of a voice activation more than a hand activation. But the hand activation doesn't even need to be in front of the camera like that, because it's the energy, it's the forces. So, like I said, I didn't expect that, but I did. Oh yeah, and the blind spot earlier, I showed you that in that second video of the Mercury thing of like the shallows, pre-shallows, that popped in. But remember, I wanted to work with like each sigil and then like heal it, and then, but it was through the light language of the voice activation of like the singing, the harmony, the frequencies. But apparently it's with my hands now, and so it is going to be done through tarot. It is going to be done through cards, but it's going to take, you know, I can't imagine every reading, but it's going to take a reading like that. So, and it's ironic that I'm really being pulled to more oracles than I am decks. And that says a lot too, because we get a lot more from the oracles, and then when I put it together, I'm able to from there take it further. Okay, so like I said, everything's coming in at a steady, subtle pace for me, and it's starting to really click, and it's a beautiful feeling when it clicks for me, because it makes me feel like I'm not in the atmosphere fucking floating like a fucking ping pong ball. Like, you hear me sometimes, guys. I'm like, what the fuck? Make up your mind, spirit. You know, I can get frustrated. You know, it's like, is it me? Is it my ADD? Is it me? And it's now I'm starting to realize, like, no, court. This is all happening, so it can all be incorporated, and that's when you find the power and beauty in things. Okay, so even if it's deep rooted like it is in me, where you don't have to, you know, start from the basics, you still have to know how to work with it. It still has to be subtle. It can't just be like, here's this magic wand and now it's in your hands, you know. But it looks like my hands are my little magic wands. But yeah, so I think they're gonna start probably really clicking for us, guys. And anything you want to share or anything like that, definitely feel free. But yeah, I just got pulled back to that, like, what were my exact words? Like, enjoy your journey. Like, I just, guys, beautiful. I don't like an ancestor talking to us. Like, I don't know, but I felt that shit. It was beautiful. When I can find anywho, I can keep going and going. But right, y'all. I love you, and I hope you guys get some rest, and I will see you tomorrow in the morning. We'll probably drive the kids to the bus stop, come back, make my coffee. It was like a big hug from spirit. Yeah, it was just, yeah, it was definitely a beautiful, beautiful moment. And I enjoy moments like that too, because it's a message for me as I'm delivering it to you guys. You guys are getting the healing behind it, but I'm the one that's like, I can feel it. And when you can feel things like that, I know I'm aligned and tuned, and I wouldn't say it's confirmation by any means, but it's oh, that feeling. I've never had that feeling. Like, I've had feelings with certain stuff, but the way that was said, like, fucking return to sender is no joke. That shit was returned. And again, I don't want to freak anybody out, Could just be returned to that past life because it no longer belongs in 2022. I don't want to freak people out and be like, oh, is it that karma coming to me? Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to look at it that way, though. It doesn't belong here and now, and it doesn't belong with us. It wasn't something we created. It wasn't our own mess. It was, it's just stuff where it was time for curses and certain stuff and, patterns. And it was just time for it to go back to where it needed to go. And I'm going to try to stay positive and just think, I'm going to take that salt jar when it's time, and I'm going to transmute it. And some people, it's like a gift to the gods. I'm giving energy back to the gods. It's being transmuted, and that's energy that more energy they get to work with. It's reciprocity, guys. It's a nice ebb and flow, and it makes me feel connected. And it's not that I believe I'm connected. I do believe I'm connected, but it's not just believing you're connected. It's like I can feel the connection. It's pretty priceless when you reach that point, So I definitely didn't think that point of starting tarot would ever get me here, but this is where it's taken us. So that's a beautiful thing. It's only going to benefit us. Hi, Max. Hi, Papa. Hi. So enjoy the energy, enjoy the calm. And like I said, you don't have to be a complete hermit, but be conscious of, leaving the house when you don't need to. I mean, if you're itching to get out, then, get out, but it's not a necessity. And take spirit's advice into, consideration here, guys. They didn't just lay me out in this time period for me to heal and get done what I had to do. Like, it's literally in the midst of all these massive transits, right? Like, there's no way I would have been able to put all this together and work in the midst of this transit, So take spirit's advice there when it comes to, your energy. And like I said, even the break room, TV's too loud, go in a hallway. People are too busy talking. It's like the same thing. It's redundant, or it's like bitching, walk away. Put a smile on your face, walk away. There's other places to go. There's not just one break room. There's hallways to get to that break room. There's bathrooms, there's other things, there's the cart, there's, so definitely keep that in the back of your head, because that's for all of October, and we're still in September, triple loops. We're still in September, So, again, it is not that you can't go out, not that you can't start shopping, not that you can't do that, just be conscious. Be conscious, that's all. Reserve your energy is what I just heard. Reserve your energy. And think about it, if other energies are being targeted right now, that's that's what spirit is. That's what guides are. That's what certain things are. It's not that they're leaving your side and they're not going to be there, but it's or you won't feel that comfort. But they have a lot of distractions going on too with this huge planetary thing. They're like back and forth with the council. They have their own meetings. They're just as busy, guys, right? Even though they do like trade-offs and certain stuff, it's like they got to fill that one in and that, like, they're very busy. So it's that I don't think you won't feel their presence. It's just, remember, it's very busy for the spirits right now. Okay. Protections and making sure the energy goes in the right directions, and then they have all these other light workers or healers, or all these other people that are on this first wave that they have to pay close attention to too. I mean, they got to pay close attention to me right now too. They can't just, you know, it's a lot of work, guys. So take that into consideration. Again, I don't think you're not gonna feel comforted like they're not around. Just, if you're like, hey, you listening to me? Like, hey, maybe you got triggered. Take it down a notch. You know what I mean? Like, try to stay calm. Like, because it's the energy around you. It's not really you. Okay. So I hope that helps a little bit. Again, I don't feel like they're going far. They're not going to be far away from you like that. And I don't feel like you're going to feel that disconnect, but like, I'm talking about it, so in a way you might, but not to an extent where you're like, you still always have someone. It's just they're still busy. So it's really all I'm trying to say. Be patient with them, I think, more than you need to be patient on yourself. you know and if you start noticing things with Mercury and certain stuff too, it's back to the same thing that I've been saying for a long time. Switching certain stuff up. If you can't switch the job right now because it pays the bills, try to switch the routine or switch up the energy. Do spring cleaning, even though it's more of an autumn, walking into autumn. But for you guys, this like walking into spring, like do your spring routine, if that makes sense, instead of like shutting the windows like, it's cold, like. So do your spring routine as autumn is coming in. That could help a lot too. And I just saw wildflowers. So even if you're outside taking a walk as a dandelion, feel the need, pluck it, put in some water. Pay attention to the weeds, because something about them are not weeds. Some of the most common weeds around the houses in rural areas and certain stuff, guys, they're so magical. I mean, you name it, from health to a wound to putting it in your tea. They're there. It's already rooted and seeded, and people are plucking them like weeds because they look like weeds. They probably are weeds, but you just don't understand the power behind a weed. Well, I guess some people do, for those who like to smoke, right? But all the other weeds that, we like to pluck are very holistic, guys. Very holistic. So I don't know why. Look at me, I'm not even a kitchen witch. But here I am, giving you kitchen witch tips. All right? So Spirit really, like I said, like, if it's a dandelion, grab a dandelion. If it looks like something you're like, I don't know, Google it. All right, I love you guys. I will see you in the morning. I hope you guys get some good rest. And if you're just starting your day, good morning, good morning. I hope you have a wonderful day. And if you're going to bed, sweet dreams. I will see you guys mañana. I love you too. You're very welcome. Good night, guys. Good night. Good night. Good night. Sweet dreams. Good night.